So what did you do last night?
I didn't go. I just sat in bed, and then I just fell asleep.
Now you watched.
I didn't watch while it happened. I have a funny reaction to things like that, which is when something like that happens. Like I'm talking to someone on the phone, I haven't paused, and they're like, "Oh my God, Will Smith just punched Chris Rock," and then I kind of don't want to see it.
Right.
Like I get a real feeling of I don't want to experience that. I'm like it's gonna keep me up all night. I got Jim and Sam in the morning. I'm gonna get like a little rush of adrenaline because it's so horrifying and it's my friend.
Yeah.
And America's friend. And so I tried not to watch it, and then you start seeing it just on clips.
Yeah, right.
So I haven't watched the rest of the show to experience what it did. But I felt bad for Questlove because that's like the greatest thing. And everybody afterwards, like the title of the article should be, Questlove and Coda and whatever, Jane Campion. So it kind of washes everything out. It's like the Streaker night. That's the Streaker night. No one knows what movie was even up for an Oscar.
Like the one year when they announced the wrong movie winning Best Picture. Like it doesn't even matter who wins and who loses anymore. It's the mistake is the headline.
And you know what's funny? I went to the Oscars that year. I don't remember why. Maybe I think The Big Sick was nominated, and so I had a seat in the room. And I am all about missing traffic. My whole life is missing traffic. And when the Oscars end, you hit a valet. Like a valet you've never hit in your entire life. Just hours and hours. And there's nothing that makes me happier than dipping out 5 minutes early. And then that happened. Like this great moment in Oscar history. And I still was happy I missed it.
You were beating traffic.
I'm going 50 miles an hour down Sunset Boulevard. It was sweet.
That's so great because then you're doing interviews after, too. And it's like, Judd, you were in the room. What was it like? No, I beat traffic getting home, actually.
I'll always miss the last Springsteen song. I don't care.
Really?
Oh, I don't
Just
care.
to beat the traffic.
Always. I know it's Born to Run. I've seen it before.
What do you think it is, too, that they didn't remove him after he slapped Chris? Like that's a tremendous. He didn't heckle. He walked on stage. He broke that wall and he slapped Chris, a presenter, for a joke. What do you think it was in this mentality of these people where they don't pull him out?
It's exactly an episode of Veep or the Larry Sanders Show. If you were to write that scene right now, if we just took out pens and paper and said, "What's the conversation on the side of the stage?" It's exactly the joke that you think it is. They're panicked. What if he wins? Yeah. What, are we going to get in trouble? Who's the person that will say remove him? They're in a panic in that moment. And then they're probably just frozen as to the appropriate thing to do. And then the commercial's over. And,
Plus you have him in the front row. Like you saw him in every shot leading up. So it's like if he is removed, you know immediately that he's removed.
Yeah.
So it becomes another story. Is that the right story to go with?
People don't want to get in trouble for making choices. It's something I never quite understood till one of my mentors, David Milch, who created Deadwood, told me this. Because I was always talking about the notes. You get notes from people when you write things. And there's always this debate, should you take the notes or not take the notes?
Yes.
And what if you disagree with the notes? And should you ruin your own show just to make the executive happy? And he always said, the executives don't want you to take the notes. They want to be able to tell their bosses that you didn't. They want some sort of deniability.
Right.
Because if you take their notes and it's bad, they get in trouble with their bosses. So there's a game, and I think this moment is something like that. No one really wants to be the one who made the call.
Were you surprised? I was shocked. I'm so dumb and naive that they gave him a standing ovation. And our theory was that he through his performance speech, gave them the excuse they needed to stand for him. Because deep down, they all agreed with him because they don't like being made fun of. And they were all, on some sick level, all happy that he slapped Chris.
Did they stand up when he walked out or on the way?
After his speech. I believe.
So he won him back over. They didn't stand up when
after he
went
hit
up
Chris.
What was his final sentiment?
It was, I think he won them over when he kind of described himself as a defender. He's pretty slick, actually, in the moment to figure out the angle to take, which was a defender of families.
Yeah. And apologize to the Academy, but not Chris.
And a vessel of love.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a vessel of love.
And God has a tough task for him.
I feel like we've all been gaslit for so many years. It's like, Ukraine, we're fighting to get rid of the Nazis. Everything in the world we've been gaslit about. So I think that everyone just goes into, I can spout nonsense. And people expect it. They don't expect it to be a logical speech. They expect, I mean, it is that thing of whatever, years and years of people blaming the other person for the thing they just did. And we're all just so confused. We don't know what to make of anybody.
How do you deal with the fact that, like, your family members are also public figures, right? Like, I think it would drive me like, I would love seeing my kids succeed on the level that your kids are succeeding, but at the same time, like, kind of figuring out how to be okay with the fact that other people can now have opinions, in your case, you know, about your kids or about your wife. It's like,
and
that's got to be
I mean, we've talked about it since they were little kids. You know, what do you make of people's opinions? Because for every 100 people, I don't care who you are, 10 really dislike you.
Right.
You know, Tom Hanks, go online, look him up on Twitter. Someone's like, fuck Tom Hanks. You know, there's no one that escapes.
Yeah, it was the other guy who started bosom buddies with.
And so basically, if your kid's interested, you have to tell them, like, this is part of it. You make the things you want to make, and you hope you find people who like it. And just like some people like Metallica and some people like Reba McEntire, I think the current world thinks everyone is supposed to like everything. That's what I think the issue is. And that's what streaming and social media does. When we were kids, we liked our band, we liked our show, we hated everything else, but we never talked about it.
Right. There wasn't like a public forum for every single person.
No, you wouldn't like go out and even take a second to say, you know, fuck Quincy.
Yes, definitely not the show.
Goddamn Lou Grant. Like, you wouldn't break it down. You would just watch what you watched and listen to what you listened. But now it's like, if you don't win over the whole world, it's painted like you made a mistake of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did people criticize you for your take? I think your take was good. I mean, I understood that it was maybe a little bit, you reacted in the moment, but I thought it was kind of fair what you said about it was just rage and it was a violent act.
Well, I mean, we all know, we've all been in rooms where there's, you know, when there's cameras and the entire world is watching. If you decide to jump up on the stage, then you, as someone that understands the business, have lost some sort of control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever that is, and who knows. But if you get out of the seat and you jump up, then something happened there, and it's something to be concerned about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
For him, for the other guy, I mean, that as soon as that line is crossed, really anything can happen. That's what happened, but something else could have happened.
Right.
Yeah. We don't know. That's how Chris responded. Chris could have responded differently.
I feel bad for Chris, man. That's a really bad spot to be in. I feel very bad for him.
Yeah, and couldn't have handled it with more dignity. You know, he's tough. He did his best to move forward, and you know, we've all made jokes that if that's the line, you know,
if G.I. Jane is the line, it's like,
but I feel bad, you know, because I feel like also people are under so much stress, emotionally, professionally. That you don't really even know. Like, who knows what's going on there? Who knows what the levels of it are?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I think it has a lot to do with a lot of stuff that wasn't even in that room at the
I'm
time.
sure,
Like,
yeah.
it's just everything.
Stuff you'll never find out about.
Exactly.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was funny to watch everybody stand at the end like, yeah, that's kind of who we knew everybody there is. Like, they deep down were happy he did it because they don't like being made fun of. And they couldn't say, we're happy you did it. So when he allowed them to say that by giving the speech he gave, I think he gave them the relief, like, whew, now we can stand and clap for you.
Well, it's also, I think that there's like a hypnotism to going to those shows. Like, this is the moment where we stand. And I don't know how sincere it ever is. You know, if like 20 people get up to give so-and-so a standing ovation, the rest of the room kind of gets up.
This is what we're doing now.
I mean, if you're in a section of 300 people, like 30 are like, I'm going to go and standing O on this, you're probably going to get the other 270 to join with you.
Yeah.
And so, like...
It's like the State of the Union when, like, you realize your side is standing. You're like, I think we're supposed to stand now.
Yeah, it's like the wave. Everyone's doing the wave. We got to do the wave. I don't know if they all thought it through so deep. It's just like, I guess. I mean, it'd be funny to scan everyone's faces carefully to see the look in their eyes at that moment.
Like half of them were texting. They don't even know what we're standing for.
Exactly.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
What am I clapping for?
Exactly.